And next up, and I haven't even had a chance to listen to this whole thing, but our buddy Peter was able to join the TitanCast, the Saturn Junkyard's TitanCast for a retrospective on Astal, and that was awesome. Did you get to listen to any of it?
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier. It's really good. They go through they go through Astal, talk a little about it, talk a little about what they've been up to. It was a really good cast. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, Peter has decided to leave Shiro and join the Junkyard, so he is now banned from all casts.
Yeah,
like Shiro. So no,
I was worried about that, but you know. No. Anyway, we really do wholeheartedly, support the TitanCast, which is almost like our sister cast, I guess you could say. Every year we have an annual mega cast that we get together with them, and they're all good people, and you guys should definitely go check out and sub to them if you're not already, because it's just more great Saturn content. You can't get enough of that, so highly recommend.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. It was a great cast. I think they did a great job on that one. And we're going to be posting more of their cast up on the site as well as they come out. So just keep them informed and let you guys know what's going on, because I know we have a lot of people that have some crossover with it.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to have that ability to cross-post and promote each other.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're a small community, so we don't have a lot of reach. So as much reach we can give each other as possible, the better.
Yeah, and we kind of our casts were formed almost simultaneously without knowledge of each other, within months of each other, you know? And so it's just crazy how that happened, but it definitely wasn't any kind of competition. To be honest with you, I think that they represent PAL territories much better than we do. The Junkyard always has, because they've had that kind of European base. And we're getting, with Daniel McInnes, he's from the UK, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he is.
No, he's from... Is he?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know that for
Daniel
sure.
Thomas McGinnis?
But I know we've got James in the chat a lot of the times, representing those Brits. We've got a few other folks from the UK, and we've got Memphis from Germany and stuff like that, able to comment.
Xenos Interactive is also from Germany.
Yes. So I mean, we're starting to get more at least representation in our chats and stuff like that, so that we have that global perspective, instead of just being limited to the US and Canada, which we do a good job at representing the US and Canada. We always have, but yeah, so it's nice to be able to get that other perspective. For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely subscribe, check them out, and do all that other stuff. Follow them, subscribe to them, like them, retweet.
Oh, and join the Saturn Junkyard on Facebook, because that is a group that I wholeheartely support. It's a fun group, and Simon does a great job. Simon and Cameron do a great job kind of running that ship and keeping it fun, Next up, we've got another Best of Saturn little spotlight talking about X-Men Coda, or Children of the Atom. I've always called it Kota, or COTA, but this was
my least favorite Led Zeppelin album.
Oh, nice. Coda, yeah. So, no, we're not going there. You are a music geek, though. I love that. You're just as much into like a bunch of old classic rock as you are like the vaporwave stuff. I love it.
Yeah, just a bunch of influences from my parents, and
same.
Wanting to not be dad rock central 24/7.
Yeah. Well, so X-Men: Children of the Atom. It was the beginning of, you could say, the beginning of like the whole Marvel superheroes thing, really, right? Because isn't that kind of where it all started?
Fighting Marvel games, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely shows age, especially when you compare it to something like Street Fighter Alpha 3. Why am I saying Alpha and Zero in the same sentence? Street Fighter 03.
All Zero.
It's just a mouthful.
Same game.
But
game.
when you compare to like Street Fighter 03, or you compare it to like the later Marvel versus Capcom and stuff like that, it definitely shows its age. But at the same time, is how they kind of broke in to that whole thing. And again, it is Capcom, and it is on Saturn, and it's rad. What do you have any personal opinions about this game?
I actually think it's my least favorite. Oh no, never mind. That's MVCI. It's one of my least favorite games in the Marvel vs. series. I mean, I consider Children of the Atom part of it.
Yeah.
at least in my eyes. But I really it's still a pretty fun game for what it is. I play it in the arcades a bit.
Yeah.
An arcade local to me has it, and it's pretty fun. I prefer, like I said, like X-Men vs Street Fighter or MVC2 and stuff like that. But it's still a great game.
Yeah.
It's still a really fun game, really good fighter. I mean, it's only X-Men, so I mean, it's not like.
There's two ways of looking at this game, though. I will say that we're looking at it in hindsight, right? And we have all these things to compare it to. But what I will say is when this game drops, now I have a hard copy. I'm not going to get it out right now, but I have a hard copy of this game. And right on the cover, like on the actual cover of the game, or the front inlay, they have the Game Pro scores, perfect scores across the board, like perfect graphics, perfect sound, perfect controls. It's like 4 4 4 4, and it's got like the guy with the crazy hair spazzing out, you know. I forget if it was Game Pro or Game Fan, but either way they decided to put that like right on the front of the box to show you how good the game was at the time. So at least we can say that when this game was released, it was cutting edge, and on the Saturn it was basically perfect.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still a great game. It's a lot of fun. The controls are responsive, but in comparison, in retrospect. But yeah, this game is a really great fighter for the Saturn. I definitely recommend playing it if you haven't.
And it ends up being one of the cheaper ones because, you know, it's not 03 or you know, it's not Marvel Superheroes, you know, which are like over $100 now. Children of the Atom.
Street Fighter go up? Is it still? I think the last time I checked, I got it for $40. Maybe it went up.
Yeah. Let me think.
Probably.
So I know like Street Fighter Alpha 2 was like forever. It was like a $40 game. Then it was like a $50 game. Now, just because of the Saturn prices, I call it like the Saturn Index or whatever. It's just everything's gone up.
Saturn Index Fund.
It's crazy. I want to get a copy of Minnesota Fats after watching Nick's video, and that thing people want like $40 to $50 for it, and I'm just like, oh man. I remember when
that's gonna be chump change.
It will be. I know, because there was I had an opportunity to buy it for like $10, and I passed because I was looking at a bunch of other stuff back in the day, but and I never did pick up that one, and now I feel like I'm kicking myself because I really don't want to pay $50. But anyway,
understandable. I was actually looking through the Saturn price, and apparently Magic Knight's hitting the $1,000 mark now.
No kidding. Wow.
Magic Knight hit that. I was looking at I was checking on Cubivore and GameCube, and that one hit about $600.
Wasn't Magic Knight like a $300 game? $400?
Yeah,
like,
it was $300 game for a while. Now it's like it's almost $1,000.
That's just ridiculous. Well, you know, you were smart to get it, regardless. Like at whatever cost, you were smart.
Yeah, I mean, $800 sounds a lot, but I mean, it's chump change compared to what it's probably gonna go for in the future.
I mean, besides you didn't pay, you traded a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was more like 100.
Gotcha.
Trades. So I guess if you could, it's probably about that $300 mark with all the trades put together. If you look at it from the time I bought them.
Yeah. Well. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I guess technically, but yeah.
If you guys have, if you have limited space on your ODE or whatever, and you are going through and picking and choosing games to put on your ODE, I would recommend X-Men Children of the Atom. I think it's still worth it. I think it's worth a burn on a CDR if you have limited CDRs. Of course, there are going to be better games that you can, better fighting games that you can play, but it is the first of its generation. It's kind of where it all started, and I definitely think that it's worth a look, for sure. Not a bad game by any means. Sure.
Yep, definitely play it if you can. I mean, it's still a pretty nice fighter and pretty fun with a couple friends.